5 stories, 25,000 square feet, mixed use parking garage, New Smyrna Beach, the first and only. So yes, you heard that right. That is a proposed project of what is planned to be here at the old Regions Bank building in New Smyrna, in between 3rd Avenue and 4th Avenue on the beach side. My name is Chris Schwartz. This is White Whale Real Estate. My business partner Tim Loomis and I are here to bring you all the latest and greatest of what's happening in New Smyrna Beach. This is a particular hot topic in the New Smyrna Beach area, and if you're a resident and you don't know about it, here's your hot scoop on it. So I want to go over 3 things, 3 key ideas or 3 key points to make about this project. So 1, what it is, what it's going to look like. 2, the economic impact, and 3, just the overall local residential impact on it. So getting right into it, number 1 is the what it's going to look like and what the project is actually going to entail. Real quick before that, this is a proposed project. It has not been finalized or approved or granted permission to start. It's just only proposed. There is a public hearing on this in the City Chamber building August 13th, so make sure you're there. So back to number 1, what it's going to look like. The request right now from the developers is for it to be 5 stories. They want it to be 25,000 square feet of total workable space, and this is going to add 320 additional parking spots to the beach side, which is much needed. So the mixed use component to this is that the developers don't just want to slam in a parking garage and call it a day. They want to make it a little bit classier and add extra use or value to the area, and what they want to do is be able to have space for restaurants and retail space to be able to utilize. So bottom space would be restaurant and retail, and then above that is going to be your parking spaces, and they're also allowing room for 50 bicycles. So I don't know if it's going to be one long 50 bike rack, I imagine not, but they are trying to be aware and cognizant of the locals and how we live, work, and play here in the area, so they want to make room for bicycle parking as well. So no golf cart designations yet, they're just having it 320 spots. So as usual around here, the golf carts take up the regular vehicle spaces as well. So coming from the Southeast Volusia Advocacy and Economic Development Committee, this morning the strong recommendations were to the developers for them to pay special attention to the outside facade and aesthetic of the building. We don't want some big ugly building here. We want it to look pretty, be artsy, and fit in and be natural and native to the area. I know this is a particular hot topic and concern with the city commissioners as well, is they want to really be cognizant and aware of what the building looks like and make sure it fits into the area, because the locals have a very strong opinion on that, and we just want it to look right and feel good being in the area, because it is going to be a big change for us having the first and only parking garage here. It's going to be a big adjustment to us locals, so we really want to make sure that piece of the puzzle fits in right and it doesn't look weird and wonky. Moving on to number 2 is going to be the economic development impact. So this project is estimated to cost $27 million from start to finish, and we all know what construction costs are, and estimates is, we've got one price and end up at another price at the end of the day. So that's just the start. $27 million is what the projected cost is going to be. To put that in comparison, the new paved parking lot right on 3rd Avenue has just been completed. That allows for 86 spots. That economic investment to the community was about $2 million. And for you to pay to park there is $5 an hour, $30 for the day, or if you want to park overnight would be $35 for overnight parking. So again, 86 spots, $2 million investment. This is going to be about a $27 million investment into the community that's going to allow for the mixed use with commercial and retail space, along with trying to solve the challenge of the parking issues, allowing for 320 spots for people to park, especially when the beach is closed. The thing that the city is looking at is this is a win-win for the city, is that right now the taxes on this particular parcel is about $5,000 a year. When this gets developed and turns into this mixed-use parking garage, the estimated tax impact for the city is going to be an additional $90,000 income revenue to the city from being able to collect taxes off this property. So the city is looking at this as kind of a win-win. You have private developers that are solving some of the city's biggest challenges, which is parking, that now the city can kind of take a little bit off their plate. We talked to a city official today, and it said it would probably save them an additional $4 to $5 million to not have to address this problem immediately in the full scale like this would be. And they're getting $90,000. So I don't know about you, but when somebody's going to take care of a problem for me and then give me $90,000 a year, I'm probably going to be a little inclined to say, yes, let's find a way to move forward on this. So that's kind of the city standpoint and the economic impact on the area on what that's going to look like for the development costs, and then also what the city is going to be able to be collecting. This doesn't go into account for what the economic drivers of what the retail space and the restaurants are going to do for the city and the community as well. That's going to help with job creation and other things to that nature as well, and just help drive some more dollars to the city. So lots of economic benefits from that standpoint. Moving on to number 3 is the local impact. This is where we all get our pitchforks out and say we hate it, we're not changing, and you know, we're not leaving. So my stance on this is the only thing that is really consistent is change. I'm local, born and raised to the area. It's really the last thing I want to see is a parking garage in here, but I am also aware that we can't close our gates. The people have found out about our hidden little gym here, and people are going to continue to come. So I think it's going to hopefully help the area as far as traffic flow goes, especially on weekends and holidays. And for me, the biggest thing is that these developers are local and they live here and they've been local. They didn't just move here and they're not just trying to put their flag in the ground. And I think that's a really important thing for us as locals to consider, is that these developers are kind of putting their neck out, they're putting their money up, and they're trying to help find a solution and work with us as a city. Right now, they seem really receptive to making sure that the parking garage is classy, that it's native to the area. And my concern is if we don't work with it and find a common solution with everybody, that they could pull back, and then in a couple years, a new developer is going to come in from out of town that doesn't live here, work here, play here, put up whatever they want and call it a day, and they don't care because they don't have to look at it every day. Whereas these developers, I think, are going to take some pride in their work, and they live here and they're going to have to see it every day, so, and hear it from us every day too. So, you know, there's some accountability behind that. I know the locals, 2 major concerns with the locals though is going to be your stormwater management. Talking to city officials today, according to city rules and regulations, the developers have to make sure that they are able to improve the stormwater management, and whatever waterfall comes on the property, that has to be able to be maintained within the property. The current developer's plan is they have a stormwater management system underneath the parking garage. And again, you can hear more about this at the city meeting on August 13th. They're going to go into more detail on how that stormwater management works. But from what I understand, it's going to be better than what we already currently have, which is really kind of a poorly developed parking lot and system. It's antiquated, it's old, and hasn't had any updates or improvements probably and really since it was built, you know, back in the day. So big hot topic there. They are aware of it, they're cognizant of it, and they're working to do the best they can. And they also, like we said, they are held by city and state law regulations on making sure that water management stays in place and doesn't flood out the surrounding areas. The last thing too, residentially wise, is you have a lot of residential houses here, and I can't ever believe it. It blows me away that people will go and park in these local private residence parking in their yards and their driveways, and they have no idea who they are. I just can't imagine that people do it, but they do, and then they come back and they leave their trash, and it's just a big mess. And local residents, it's been a huge contention point with them. They're calling tow truck companies, are getting these cars towed, which I believe they should. It's absolutely ridiculous that somebody would park in somebody's private area. So I'm hoping that this is going to help alleviate some of those issues and give people other alternatives to park somewhere else other than somebody's private residence. So especially here in between 3rd and 4th, I'm hoping that this is going to help them out quite a bit as well. So overall, I think this could be a good thing. I know we're hesitant to change. It's scary for me too, kind of jumping on the deep end with it, but it's going to happen, and hopefully these are the right guys to make it happen is my final stance on that. So you heard it first here with White Whale Real Estate, at least on a media live outlet. You'll probably be seeing it on your local news outlets pretty soon as well, because it is a pretty big deal. The project is an undetermined start date yet because it hasn't had the final approval from the city. So a lot of work and a lot of still massaging these issues out to figure out, what it's really going to look like in the end, what it's going to be. In size comparison, the Best Western right across the street is 7 stories. This again is projected to be 5 stories with a restaurant on top. So they're really trying to make it a nice place to be and just kind of elevate the area as well. So let us know what your thoughts and comments are below. Please let us know. Let us know what we can do to help out. We'll be at the city meeting. If you have any concerns and can't make it or don't want to make it because you don't want to deal with it all, but have concerns that you want to be heard, let us know. We'll be happy to stand up and voice your opinion for you. We're here to help out however we can. Let us know, real estate related or not. We love you guys, and see you in next week's video.